NLWN-TV presents the In the Dugout show with a look at today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. Now, join us as we get ready for baseball in the dugout.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of In the Dugout. Rick Olson here in the NLWN-TV studios, and we're getting ready to bring you all the action of today's non-league game as the 12-7 Eau Claire Cavaliers take on the 0-2 Menomonie Eagles. The Eagles are making a reappearance to the baseball scene after a several-year absence. Now, coming up in this edition of In the Dugout, we'll take a look at today's matchup between the Cavs and the Eagles. Then we'll get Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister's outlook on today's game in the Ryan Bemnister Show. Following that, even though this game is not a league game, it would be a good idea to take a quick look around the Chippewa River Baseball League just to see where things stand. Also, we'll take a moment to get to know one of this season's Cavalier players in Cavalier Profile. Finally, we'll bring you all the play-by-play action of today's game from Carson Park. So it's time to get ready for some baseball action, and we'll do just that right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to In the Dugout on NLWN-TV.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
See, Smokey thinks I'm funny.
Welcome back to In the Dugout. Very shortly, the Eau Claire Cavaliers will take on the Menomonie Eagles, where the Cavaliers will make sure that there is no rust remaining following a week off before they head into league play on Wednesday. The Cavaliers are coming off sweeping a doubleheader over the Bloomer Woodticks last week on Sunday by scores of 3-2 and 1-0. In Game 1, the Cavaliers rode the stellar pitching of Andrew Milner, who went the distance, allowing only 4 hits and no earned runs, while striking out 11 to move his record to 5-1. Milner was backed up by some solid defensive play, including this line drive unassisted double play by Cade Mueller at third base.
And the pitch. Soft liner and tagged out as well. Mueller catches it in the air and then tags as he's falling to the ground. Tagged out Schwab at third.
Milner got in on the act defensively as well by starting off this 1-6-3 double play.
And the payoff pitch. Hopper back to Milner, throws a second for one, over to first. And they got him a 1-6-3 double play. That's Milner to Erickson to Windishausen.
Caden Erickson drove in the first run for the Cavaliers when he reached on an error by Woodtick shortstop Jackson Simmons, driving in Brayton Tillman.
Woodcock takes a pretty good lead at first. And there's a ground ball over to short. He can't handle the ball. Run comes in to score. And it's going to be an error on the shortstop, but it drives in a run.
After the Woodticks took a 2-1 lead in the top of the 7th, Carson Windishausen smashed a 2 RBI single to left, driving home Erickson and Xavier Bemnister with the winning run.
Here's the pitch. Ground ball through the infield. This could do it. Erickson's in. Here comes Bemnister, and the game is over. Cavaliers win it on a walk-off base hit by Carson Windishausen.
In the second game, the Cavaliers got another stellar pitching performance, this time from Cooper Dykes, who threw 6 scoreless innings while giving up only 3 hits and striking out 5 to move his record to 2-0 on the season. Tyson Woodcock came in to shut the game down by throwing a scoreless 7th inning to raise his record to 1-0 with 4 saves. Caden Erickson drove in what would prove to be the winning run in the 3rd inning when he singled to center field, plating Ashton Kroll.
Ashton Kroll with a fairly routine lead at second. Here's the pitch. And a hard ground ball right up the middle into center field. Kroll rounds third. He's coming in to score. Erickson stays at first. But it's an RBI single for Caden Erickson.
Defensively, the Cavaliers played error-free ball in Game 2 to secure the win. Now, the Eagles come into this weekend with an 0-2 overall record and are getting their feet back on the ground so as to be able to rejoin the WBA and the St. Croix Valley League. The Eagles, although 0-2, have been competitive, losing their opener to Elmwood 5-2 and dropping a game to the Plum City Blues 9-8. So far this season, leading the way at the plate for the Eagles is Caleb Rhines with a .500 batting average. He's followed by Evan Sisko and Parker Burden, who are each hitting at .333. Tyler Ingram, Sam Schliekert, and Cooper Bruja each have recorded extra base hits for the Eagles. On the mound, Menomonie is being led by Evan Sisko, who has an 0-1 record with an ERA of 3.68 in 7 1/3 innings pitched. He has a whip of 0.68. Also effective on the mound for the Eagles is Zach Peterson with an ERA of 5.07 in 5 1/3 innings pitched. Now, so far this season, the Cavaliers are being led at the plate by Sam Knickerbocker, who's hitting at a .356 pace, including 5 runs and 5 doubles. He's followed by Brayton Tillman, Xavier Bemnister, and Cade Mueller, who are each hitting at .333, with Mueller picking up 5 doubles and Tillman and Bemnister each hitting 3. Caden Erickson is right behind them, hitting .290, and is leading the Cavaliers in extra base hits with 6 doubles. On the mound, the Cavaliers are being led by Andrew Milner, who has a 5-1 record with an ERA of 2.32, including a no-hitter and 2 complete games. Milner leads the team in strikeouts with 51 in 42 2/3 innings pitched. Right behind Milner is Eli Rathke, who has a 3-0 record, including 2 complete games and a whip of 1.56. Tyson Woodcock, who's developed into a closer for the Cavaliers, has pitched 14 1/3 innings without allowing any earned runs for a record of 1-0 with 4 saves and an ERA of 0.00. The Cavaliers have had complete game performances by Rathke and Milner each twice, Jackson Vance and Mason Yarrington. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get to find out Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister's thoughts on today's game in The Ryan Bemnister Show. You're tuned to In the Dugout on NLWN-TV.
The Phoenix are rising. NLWN-2 and the Northern Light Webcasting Network are excited to be your home for Chippewa Valley Phoenix semi-pro football. Our next game will be on July 6th when the Phoenix will recognize military, EMS, and law enforcement personnel by facing the Buffalo Ridge Wildcats at Carson Park. Keep following the Phoenix on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN-2. That's exciting Chippewa Valley Phoenix football on July 6th.
The Goat Coffee House on Water Street in Eau Claire presents The Ryan Bemnister Show, where Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister gives us his perspective on today's game. And now, The Ryan Bemnister Show.
Once again, we're at the Goat Coffee House talking with Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister. And Ryan, today the Cavaliers are going to have the opportunity to knock the rust off, as they haven't played in over a week. So before we get to that challenge, let's look back at last Sunday when the Cavs got the brooms out and swept a doubleheader from the Bloomer Woodticks. Your comments about that doubleheader?
Yeah, it was 2 exciting games. I mean, 7-inning games, and we had a walk-off in the first one and then a shutout in the second one, so that was good. We had really good pitching performances by both pitchers, and our stellar closer that closed out the second game for us, and had a couple of errors that led to us being down in the 7th in that first game. But it's this team. They just never show up, give up on any game. So.
Now, in the past, we've commented about the hitting output and the low hitting output at that of the Cavaliers this season. But that doubleheader showed that sometimes it's not the number of hits, but the timing of those hits.
Yep.
Your comments?
Yes. Even though I think we had 6 hits in 2 games or whatever, and it's even when we're not hitting the ball, these guys find ways to get on base too. and then we get those timely hits that help us to win a game.
You mean if you can't hit the ball, let the ball hit you?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, which worked out perfect because it probably put the fastest, if not the second fastest kid on the team at second base in scoring position. So,
right.
And he's one of these kids that basically, if there's a base hit and he's on second, I don't really have to point too much because I can't stop him anyways. He's
right.
Gonna go. And it was nice having Caden Erickson that third two for speed in case it was a fly ball for a sac fly and stuff. And we had a plan in place, but luckily Carson came through with a ground ball, which amazed all of us because he's one of those guys that really drives the ball in the air. So when I was talking to Caden,
good solid base hit.
Oh yeah, and I'm like, hey, if he hits it in the air, you're gonna score, kind of thing. So yeah, it was really nice to see that walk off. It was good for him too because his bat was a little bit quiet for the last couple of games. So it's good to see him get a hit there and stuff like that. But yeah,
Yeah, in
wins.
fact, it was a real sweet walk off because, as you said, Carson had been struggling a little bit, and to have something that successful come through has got to do wonders for his confidence.
Oh yeah, definitely. He was flying high going on that second game, so that was good. I mean, it's too bad the energy level didn't carry over in that second game, but it was another good pitching performance by both pitchers from Bloomer and us, and a 1-0 shutout. I mean, we manufactured a run. We had a guy who had I think it was a 10 or 12 pitch at bat. He earned a walk out of that, and then he got the second on a pass ball, and then we had one of our hits drove him in.
Well, in fact, it was an error by the shortstop, and then when the shortstop threw it over to first, he came around third and took home.
And luckily, that's how it worked. So I mean, good for that. And like I said, we had to. I've mentioned this before. We had to find ways to manufacture some runs in some games, and we found the way to do that against Bloomer.
So today, the Cavaliers get to knock some rust off as they face the Menomonie Eagles, who are restarting their program this season. What can you tell us about the Eagles?
Nothing at all.
How about even their program?
I know they had a program before. They want to get back into it. They got a new guy up there. I can't remember his name, but he's the one I've been kind of texting with to set up this. And I think we've got 3 games scheduled with these guys this year, home, and then I think they're going to be here for our fan appreciation in August. So it's good for them guys because I don't think they've played a lot of games this year yet. I think you mentioned that they've only played 2 or 3 games.
Right, they're 0-2.
Yeah, and I know they want to bust in to be a part of a league in the WBA. It'd probably be the league that Ellsworth is in, and
that St. Croix Valley League.
St. Croix Valley, yeah. So outside of that, I mean, it's Menomonie, so it's a good-sized city. They've got a nice university there that they'll be able to pull from. So I can only see.
It could be the offense of a really good, healthy rivalry, too.
Yes, it would, and that'd be nice. That'd be fun. It's fun to have those rivalries that aren't just in Eau Claire.
Right.
We got to get out of Eau Claire to have some more rivalries and stuff like that. So it'll be good. I'm looking forward to it. I know they're looking forward to it. They're excited to get on our schedule. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they got.
So who's getting the call to the mound today?
Eli Rathke. He's been off for a while. He hasn't pitched in a good amount of time. So
and his last time was amazing.
Yep. So we're hoping he can do that again. We'll have a good set of arms if he doesn't have it, but he's gonna have it. I know he will. I'm not too worried about him. I'm never worried about him. He always comes to battle for us and stuff like that. And this rest might be a good thing for our pitchers. We've been taxed a little bit. You can see a little tired. Some tired arms a little bit from guys, and luckily it doesn't cost us any games. With them being tired because they still work through everything. But, Rathke's been a guy that's been good all year, and I want him to get on the mound for this game here, and we'll see what we can do.
So, now during this past week, the Cavaliers were off, but you weren't. The selection meeting for the CRBL All-Star game was held. Fill us in on the Cavaliers who are now All-Stars and who will be appearing in that game, and talk a little about each one of them, what makes them special.
Yeah, I can definitely do that. We got 5 position players, and we got 2 pitchers that made it, so we had seven selections, which is 2 more than we had last year, I believe. And it was, all of them were no-brainers. They were unanimous votes for all of them, so it was really nice to see that too. 2 pitchers, I mean, Andrew Milner. Obviously, I mean, he threw no hitter, and he's 3-1 in conference. He's our go-to guy for all of our conference games. And then the other pitcher is our go-to guy to close every single conference game, and that's Tyson Woodcock, and he's been amazing all year long. He hasn't given up an earned run yet in any of his games pitched.
Yeah, 0.00 ERA.
And that's not just conference, that's out of conference too. So it's like 13, 14 innings of scoreless balls.
4 saves.
Yep. So he's been pretty solid all year long. I've been really happy with him. And then our 5 position players, We got 3 on the infield, Cody Dayton at second, Cade Mueller at third, and then Sam Knickerbocker at home. Sammy's been a rock behind the plate for us all year long, and he's just ripping the cover off the ball at the plate too. I don't know if he's had an error all year long or a pass ball. I mean, that guy's pretty good at what he does, to say the least. And a lot of the guys in the meeting were amazed that he was left-handed. As a catcher, and I'm like, hey, it works. The guy knows what he's doing behind the plate. So, and he's been managing our pitching staff really well too, and like I said, hitting the ball really well. Cade Mueller's been a stellar find. He was with us a little bit last year before he got hurt. And we knew what kind of ball player he was at University of Eau Claire here. He's solid over at third. Again, another guy that's hitting really, really well for us.
That was a position you were a little bit concerned about going into the season.
Yeah.
Was what was going to nail down that third base for you, and it looks like Cade Mueller has gone a long ways towards doing that.
Yeah, and he told me when he joined the team that he didn't want to catch anymore. That was what we had him for last year, and what Eau Claire had. He said they want him to play third base and corner outfield. So we've been kind of mixing him up there, with that, and then Cody Dayton at second base. He's filled in really nicely over there. That was kind of another question mark for us. We had 3 or 4 guys that could kind of play second. And
it's taken a little while for that chemistry, especially between Cody Dayton and Caden Erickson.
Yep.
Especially when trying to turn that double play and so on. But they seem to have worked their way through that.
They have, and that's something that we knew was going to take some time, especially with Cody. His gloves needs a little bit of work yet, but he's worked on it hard at school, and then for us here, and he's been great all year. And again, another guy that's been really solid at the plate. I mean, all these guys are batting over 300,
right in that range. Yeah.
So I mean, it's pretty amazing how well we've been hitting the ball. And then our 2 outfielders, Brayton Tillman and then Hav. Tilly's been stellar all year long in the field. Another guy that hits the ball really well. He's quick.
And he can play either left or center.
Yep. He can actually play in every position in the outfield, to be honest with you. He just doesn't play right very often because we got another guy over there, a young guy too, that plays over and right a lot. But yeah, Brayton's been a nice find. He's fast on the baseball IQ guy.
He's got really good range out in the outfield.
Yes, and reads the ball really well. I mean, that helps out for your range. If you can read a ball off the bat, you can really. That helps your range.
There have been some shots in recent games that looked like they were going to one-hop the wall, and all of a sudden he's back there to make the catch.
Yeah, and he's got it, and it's just in his blood, and he's been a ball player for his entire life and stuff. So I've known him for a long time, and I'm happy for him. And then Hav, he's the only one of these 7 that's been.
I know you're a little bit prejudiced by this, but he very easily could be the best center fielder in the league.
Yeah, he's close to, if not the one. He's been solid for his 4 years with the Cavs, and like I said, he was an All-Star last year and All-Star this year. Another guy that, he leads the team in runs and stolen bases and all this other stuff. It's all that stuff that he does that as a veteran that he's showing these young guys. And he's one of these guys that actually coached Sam Knickerbocker and Brayton Tillman and Trenton Palmer. And he's coached those guys, so having him be playing with the guy that coached for 3 or 4 years is pretty cool, he said, and he's enjoying the heck out of it. And again, hits the ball really well. It's like I said, all these guys. I think Tilly was the lowest one on the team with 312 batting average, but everybody else is 340, 350, 380, 400. So every single one of these guys deserve to be on this All-Star team, and I'm really kind of keeping my fingers crossed that we get 1 or 2 starters out of this mix too, because I think they deserve it.
Well, it should be noted that the CRBL All-Star Game is going to be aired right here on NLWN-TV. That's on July 7th, and we have some new equipment that may actually allow us to get a signal out of Jim Falls, because the game is at Gruden Field in Jim Falls. And in the past, we've kind of had to rebroadcast later because we can't get a signal out of there. And so what we're going to do this year is we're going to try to go live with it. I believe that's 2 o'clock first pitch. So that means our pregame would start somewhere right around 1:30. And we're going to try to go live. And if for some reason the live broadcast doesn't, in fact, either way, if it does or doesn't, we're also going to re-air it at 7.
Good.
So that people that were planning on watching it at 7 don't have to change their plans. But those people that would like to see it live, we're keeping our fingers crossed that we can do that.
Yes.
We've had real good success with this equipment so far, and I'm very hopeful that we'll be able to do that.
Good. I'm glad. That's going to be something. If you can come out and watch it, great. bring a chair.
Yeah.
There's not much seating for stands there.
Right.
But bring a chair. They're going to block off roads for people to sit and stuff. They're going to have food and beverage out there and the whole 9 yards. They got a new speaker system. They're working on the field. It's going to be great. You know, it's good for Jim Falls to host this. You know, it's their turn the rotation. They're doing everything they can to make it a great place to play baseball. And you know, it's
Yeah, we've had some games that were not such great luck over there.
No, we haven't.
Where they hold. I remember a doubleheader we had up there turned into one game because it was just so wet.
Yeah.
I remember Cole Timon lacing a base hit out to the center field fence, and he got to first base because he fell flat on his face coming out of the batter's box.
Yeah.
He couldn't get out of the mud.
I remember that too. That was fun. I think we still make fun of him for it. No, but I think they've done a lot of work on the field up there and stuff. So it should be fine this year. And the weather's gonna, looks good right now, but you can't tell, a week from now. But yeah.
You commented about how these guys are relatively new players to the Cavaliers, with the exception of Xavier out in the outfield. The rest of them, this is their first time as an all-star. They're young players. That's got to bode well for the future of the Cavaliers too.
I sure hope so. I mean, you get 6 of those guys that are first-time all-stars, and they're, 2 of them are been with the Cavs for 2 years, and then the other 4, this is only their first year basically. Mm-hmm. For the most part on what they're doing, but actually 3, I should say, 3 and 3. But it's good for us. I mean, we're young. We've always been young. We're going to turn over again next year. There's a couple of guys that are going to age out, and we're going to miss them. And we got to have these young guys seeing what they can do now. I mean, man.
Well, it makes a really solid core to build a team around.
It does, and it makes it easy. I mean, it really makes it easy, and everybody's having fun. I can tell you that they were all very excited when I told them that they made the All-Star team. A couple of them were a little surprised, but they all earned it, and they deserve it. And I think it's going to be going well for us going forward the rest of this year and for future years.
Well, that's coming up on July 7th. Tonight we have the Menomonie Eagles, and good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully the Cavaliers can polish off any rust spots and be ready for the second half of the CRBL season.
I hope so.
You've been tuned to the Ryan Bempnister Show, presented by the Goat Coffee House on Water Street in Eau Claire, with Cavalier manager Ryan Bempnister's outlook on today's game. Stay tuned. More of In the Dugout is coming right up.
Honey, the kids are antsy. What can we do that will keep all of us entertained and won't break the bank?
How about we take them to the Cavaliers game? Tickets are inexpensive, there's popcorn, hot dogs, and other baseball treats, and great baseball action.
That's right, Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball, your best choice for affordable family entertainment. Check out the schedule at www.eauclaircavaliers.org.
Welcome back to In the Dugout. We're getting ready to bring you some non-league action as the Eau Claire Cavaliers play host to the Menomonie Eagles. Even though today's game is not a CRBL game, with the All-Star game approaching in less than a week, let's take a quick look around the Chippewa River Baseball League to see what's happening. There were 3 CRBL games on Wednesday, including the Eau Claire Rivermen at the Beef River Bullfrogs, with the Rivermen hanging on to win 12-7. In addition, the Chippewa Falls Lumberjacks and the Tilden Tigers met at Casper Park in Chippewa Falls, with the Tigers coming away with the 7-0 victory. In addition, the Osseo Merchants hosted the Augusta Athletics, with the Merchants winning 13-0. Then on Sunday, the Merchants traveled to Bloomer to face the Bloomer Woodticks. However, that game was played following the recording of this edition of In the Dugout, so we're going to have to fill you in on that game during today's game. Now, coming into this weekend, the CRBL standings were as follows. In the North Division, the Tilden Tigers at 11-3 have opened up a 4-game lead over second-place Cadott Red Sox, who are at 8-8. The Chippewa Falls Lumberjacks are now in third at 7-8 and 4.5 games back. Fourth place belongs to the Jim Falls Sturgeons at 6-7, also 4.5 games out of first, while fifth place finds the Bloomer Woodticks at 1-10 and 8 games off the pace. In the South Division, there's still quite a battle going on for that top spot. The Osseo Merchants at 10-2 hold a mere percentage points lead over the Eau Claire Bears at 11-3. And don't count out the Eau Claire Cavaliers, who are in third at 8-4 and only 1.5 games off the pace. The Eau Claire Rivermen are in fourth place at 5-9, while the Augusta Athletics are in fifth at 6.5 games back. The Beef River Bullfrogs are taking the sixth spot at 2-10. The Cavaliers taking on the Menomonie Eagles is the only game involving a CRBL team scheduled for today. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get to know one of this season's Cavalier players on Cavalier Profile. You're tuned to In the Dugout on NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ballgame.
Our next game will be on Wednesday, July 3rd, as the Cavaliers take on the Augusta Athletics from Carson Park. Coverage begins with the In the Dugout show at 6:30, followed by live play-by-play action. That's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on Wednesday, July 3rd on NLWN-TV.
Time now to get to know a Cavalier player on Cavalier Profile. We'll get to know a little better who plays on this year's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball team. And now, Cavalier Profile.
Today on Cavalier Profile, we're going to get to know Tyson Woodcock. And Tyson, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, different levels of baseball that you played, and so on.
Where I grew up in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Played baseball here all my life. Since Little League. Played actually here at Fairfax Fields growing up, and then transferred into high school, played all through high school. Now I'm playing college ball at St. Mary's, Winona, Minnesota.
So when you're not playing baseball, what are some other things that keep you interested or occupied?
Right now I just got a job at Menards, so if I've got any time on my hands, I usually go into work.
Okay. All right. Got a couple rapid fire questions for you. Okay. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Ice cream.
What kind?
Vanilla.
Okay, you can do anything with that. So whatever you're in the mood for, right?
Yeah, vanilla with Snickers or brownie.
Okay.
Some Culver's. Their custard.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Their custard's really good.
All right. Burgers, brats, or hot dogs?
Burgers.
And what do you want on that burger?
Depends on the night, honestly. Most of the time, classic burger, buns, meat, lettuce, tomato. I like a little spice. I'll put some jalapenos, maybe some pepper jack cheese on there too.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That sounds like a good burger. I'll be over. We'll throw some of those on the grill and get them going. Oh yeah. All right. Favorite major league team?
Brewers.
And now think about this for a second. Think all the way. There's lots of years of baseball history, well over 100, 150 years of baseball history. If there's any baseball personality, whether it's a player or some other personality that you could sit down and talk with from anywhere in history, who would it be and why?
I would talk to James Paxton, mainly because he comes here in the off season and works out, and I have been able to throw with him sometimes during the off season, so me and him kind of like to talk to each other about stuff like that, baseball.
Okay, all right. If Tyson had a superpower, what would that be?
To fly or have strength.
All right, so maybe a real strong flyer.
Yeah.
So if you were a super strong flyer, what would Tyson's superhero name be? Because you have to have one.
Oh, that's a good one. I don't know. It's got to be, starts with super strength. I don't know.
All right. Okay.
It comes to mind, I guess.
We're talking with Tyson Woodcock today on Cavalier Profile. And Tyson, how about a shout out to your family and friends that come to watch at Cavs games?
Yeah, I'd like to say thank you to my mom, my dad, my grandparents for coming to my games and supporting me. I like it a lot.
So when people do come to Cavalier games, remind them of the number that you wear and where they're going to find you on the field.
I'll be wearing number 12, and I'll pitch, and on a rare occasion I'll play outfield or first.
Okay. We want to thank Tyson Woodcock for joining us today on Cavalier Profile. Coming up next, more of In the Dugout.
This has been Cavalier Profile, where we get to know a little better who plays on the Cavalier baseball team. Stay tuned, more In the Dugout coming right up.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right. As a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
Welcome back to In the Dugout. Today the Cavaliers will have an opportunity to make sure the rust is off the gears prior to heading back into league play on Wednesday as they face the Menomonie Eagles. The Cavaliers have started to put together solid pitching, fielding, with timely hitting to create a winning combination. On the other hand, the Eagles are trying to put forth a solidly consistent team so they can be welcomed into the St. Croix Valley League next season. So we have some exciting Eau Claire Cavalier baseball coming your way. In just a moment, I'll be joining our broadcast crew at historic Carson Park as we prepare to bring you today's Cavalier game against the Menomonie Eagles. That's coming up next. You've been tuned to In the Dugout on NLWN-TV.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
You've been watching the In the Dugout show with a look at today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. Stay tuned! Coming up next is live Eau Claire Cavalier baseball. It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Slayton's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Slayton's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Slayton's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Slayton's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Slayton's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Eau Claire Cavalier baseball is on the air.
Fly ball out into center field. It's hit hard. It's hit long, and it's gone. A home run for Cole Hyman.
NLWN-TV proudly presents today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. Join us while we follow the Cavaliers as they battle their way through the Chippewa River Baseball League.
Fly ball out into right field. This one's tagged, and it's out of here. Into the fan deck, a two-run home run by Gabe O'Brien.
And now, out to the ballpark for Eau Claire Cavalier baseball.
Good afternoon, and welcome to North Carson Park with us here along with Randy Stone, stop on the camera, and copy link. Don't know if we can more or less. What we are doing is we're bringing you Eau Claire Cavalier baseball, and they're getting ready to take on the Menomonie Eagles from here in Carson Park. And Cavaliers are going to have a little bit of an interesting lineup to start off today's game, because as a solution to the 7 Cavaliers who qualified for the CRBL All-Star game, those 7 players are going to be starting. And of course, the Menomonie Eagles are restarting their organization after a several-year hiatus, and they are getting ready to get back into the WVU as well as the St. Croix Valley region. In fact, let's take a quick look at the starting lineup for today's game. Leading off for the Menomonie Eagles is the center fielder, Zach DeMark. Then batting second, playing right field, Alex Slynn. Batting third and playing first base is Matt Shaw. Batting fourth, playing left field is Sean Bernard. Batting fifth and catching is Wayne Johnson. Batting fifth and playing second base is Ryan Fisco. Batting seventh, the designated hitter. Cooper Bruja, who's that? Yeah, Bruja. Cooper Bruja. And batting eighth, playing third base is Tate Sorensen, and batting ninth is Parker Burton, playing shortstop. On the mound for the Eagles is Zach Peterson, comes in with a 0-0 record of 5.07 run average in 5 third innings pitched. For the Cavaliers, leading off is Caden Erickson. He plays shortstop, batting second, and third base is Xavier Bedminster. Xavier's one of the All-Stars. Batting third is Chris Wheeler, playing right field. Batting fourth behind the plate, another All-Star, Sam Knickerbocker. Batting fifth at second base is Cody Davis, another All-Star. Brittany Tillman out in left field with another All-Star batting fourth. Batting seventh is Quentin Palmer, designated hitter. Tyson Woodcock is another All-Star. It's actually on in the All-Star game as a pitcher before he center field tonight. He's batting ninth is Joe Belikowski, playing first base in Baxter Jan is an extra hitter for him. On the mound is Eli Ratke. And he has a 3-0 record with a 5.96 third run average in 25 and third innings pitched. In fact, take a quick look at Ratke. Number 10, one really rough outing. Makes that third run average pretty high. His zip, though, is much more respectable, 1.56. Umpires and managers are meeting out at home plate. We're going to send it to a real quick break. This is Zach with National Anthem. Starting lineup from in right after this time out on NLWN-TV.
Menomonie Eye and Optical can help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comro provide comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract or LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, and so much more. In addition, Menomonie Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eyewear for the best value. That's Menomonie Eye and Optical, 520 Wilson Avenue in Menomonie, where they specialize in quality personalized care for you and your family.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ballgame.
Our next game will be on Wednesday, July 3rd, as the Cavaliers take on the Augusta Athletics from Carson Park. Coverage begins with the In the Dugout show at 6:30, followed by live play-by-play action. That's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on Wednesday, July 3rd on NLWN-TV.
And we're going to send it right over to public address announcer Steve Kent for pregame festivities.
But provide my team importance for all players in San Crystal. Thank you. So all of the popular one town baseball club. Please return all ball balls and souvenir stands located on the third baseline. For receive a $1 token for use in souvenir stand. And for a minor, first part baseball stadium day now sold in the facility. In Westfall, yes, please in the stadium. Again, there's no smoking in Carson Park Baseball Stadium. Thank you. Finally, all fans, especially those in bleachers, are reminded to that baseball game. Follow all things and stands for high rate speaking. We ask that you remain alert at all times. Tonight's Mike on Sports Talk Radio 105.1 starting lineups, beginning with the Menomonie Eagles. Leading off, left center field. Number 26, Zach DeMarcus. Right second, the right fielder. Number 10, Alex Sling. Batting third, playing first base. Number 12, Mike Shaw. Heading forward, the left fielder. Number 99, Sean Bernard. Batting fifth, and catching. Number 5, Kane Johnson. Batting sixth, the second baseman, number 21, Ryan Cisco. Hitting seventh, the designated hitter is number 16, Rupert Truha. Batting eighth and playing third base, number 22, Kane Sorensen. Batting ninth, the shortstop, number 20, Parker Herndon. And pitching coming out is number 29, Zach Peterson. The Eagles are managed by Cooper Bruja, being assisted by Ryan Cisco. Now, starting lineup. In Sports Talk Radio 105.1 at 99.7, for your Eau Claire Cavaliers. Shortstop. Erickson. Batting second, computer baseman, SCRBL All-Star, number 4, senior, Schroeder. Hitting third, playing right field, SCRBL All-Star, number 23, Gabe Mueller. Batting cleanup, the catcher, another CRBL All-Star, number 35, Sam Mueller. Batting fifth. Playing second base, another CRBL All-Star, number 25, Tony Gatlin. Playing sixth, the left fielder, number 11, CRBL All-Star, Brenton Tillman. Number 7, the designated hitter, number 22, Brenton Homer. Batting eighth, playing center field. Another CRBL All-Star, number 12, Tyson Woodcock. Right behind the first baseman, number 44, Jerome Session. The extra hitter, number 5, Jackson Banks. The cleaner for the Cavaliers, number 2, Eli Rafi. He's assisted by Brian Meyer, Brian Davis. Let's see what one longer to officials for tonight's game. On the bases, Mr. Paul, he's in. Keyboard, James. Now, we please rise to the table. The winner hats with Tyler America. For the scene or national anthem by Mr. Lou Anthony. Oh, say, can you see the dawn's early light? Once so bright Maybe that the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars herald the skies of was gathered the streaming.
That was Mr. Luke Anthony on the national anthem. And in case you didn't hear it, on the bases tonight, umpiring is Paul Osman, and Teddy Joas is behind the plate. For those of you that watch doubleheaders here on NLWN-TV, we do that. Let's send it back down below.
Yeah. Spiritual passion is true. And it's so fun. Switch to that. Right across the first inning. So, to our first finish. Here comes Cavaliers, right into the first pitch. Here we go.
And the first pitch is down close to a strike. And as I was saying, Paul Osman is on the base of Teddy Joas behind the plate. And those of you that watched doubleheaders on NLWN TV, the Life of the Umpire is a series that we have between games, and we explore what it's like to be an umpire at just about any level of baseball. And Teddy Joas is the person that we talk to about what it's like to be an umpire. He was the umpire here last weekend when the Cavaliers took on the Bloomer Woodticks. He was behind the plate for game one and had one of the more unusual calls. I think it was a really interesting situation where it happened to be in that episode we talked about unusual calls, and he had one in that game where the ball got stuck in the catcher's equipment, so runners got an extra base as a result. On the mound for the Cavaliers, Eli Rathke. Rathke making his, let me look here. And he's making his sixth appearance. And we are sans a scoreboard tonight, so we're just going to have to rely on our score bug, and hopefully Ann on the computer is going to be able to keep up with what's going on. And we can put a little pressure on her tonight. So the first batter is Zach DeMars, and it's a called strike over the outside corner. No balls and a strike. Well, her buttons aren't working either. One ball, one strike. And the pitch. That one just missed outside. 2 balls and a strike. Zach DeMarce with his first at-bat, according to the stats I could find. There's a swing and a foul tip at the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rathke shakes off a sign. Now goes into his windup, and the 2-2 pitch swung and fouled back to the screen. Count holds at 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Just underway from Carson Park. While the scoreboard is now turned on, there's a fly ball out into center field. Moving over is Woodcock, and he's under it, and he makes the catch. Tyson Woodcock out there in center field for the Cavaliers. And that's going to bring up Alex Slind. Slind with a .000 batting average. A lot of the Menomonie players have that batting average. Swing and a miss for strike 1. In fact, the first 5 hitters did not have a batting average. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. That's going to bring up Mike Schoff, I think is how they pronounce it, the first baseman. He also has a .000 batting average. He has 1 at bat. And there's a called strike. Rathke winds and fires. That was inside. One ball, 1 strike. And the pitch. A little bit low, ball 2. There's the wind and the pitch. That's inside. 3 balls and a strike. And the pitch. Ground ball almost took off Rathke's shoulder, fielded by Erickson, throw over to first in time. Erickson runs over to check on Rathke, but he's fine. He ducked and got out of the way just in the nick of time. And it's no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We played a half inning, and the score is the Menomonie Eagles 0 and the Cavaliers coming to bat on NLWN-TV.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right. As a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
So we're back here at Carson Park. I think we have all of our issues taken care of. Well, most of them. We have a camera that's being real funky on us, and a camera operator that needs a nap. That's what she gets for staying out so late last night. Do it for the Cavaliers in the bottom of the first inning. Caden Erickson, Xavier Bemnister, and Cade Mueller. Erickson steps up to the plate, batting .290 on the season. He has 295 at-bats in his career with the Cavaliers. Zach Peterson on the mound. And a foul tip back into the glove. Peterson looks in for the sign. He winds and fires. That was in the dirt. Peterson has appeared in one game prior to this. They've only played 2 games prior to this, so Peterson has appeared in one. He's gone 5 1/3 innings, gave up 6 hits, 3 runs, all of which were earned. There's a ground ball over to second, and throw over to first is in time. So Erickson grounds out to Cisco, who fired it over to Schaff for the putout. Xavier Bemnister comes to the plate. He's batting .333, and he has also been selected for the All-Star team. The CRBL All-Star game will be next Sunday, and you can find it right here on NLWN-TV. Fly ball out into center field. It's coming in hard, and making the catch is DeMars. Two down. That's going to bring up Cade Mueller. Mueller batting .333. He's playing right field today. And the pitch. That's a strike called on the outside corner. Mueller steps back in. Peterson works from the stretch. And Mueller fouls that one off. Count is 0-2. Peterson at the belt. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 3. And the Cavaliers go down 1-2-3. We've played an inning, and there's no score from Carson Park on NLWN-TV.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal. The sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us, on the roads that unite us. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to be the fuel that keeps you firing on all cylinders.
Visit either of Eau Claire's 2 locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores on Highway 93 or North Claremont Avenue.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right. As a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
Back here at Carson Park, heading into the top of the second inning, no score. Menomonie Eagles taking on the Eau Claire Cavaliers. Due up for the Eagles in the top is Sean Bernard, Kane Johnson, and Ryan Cisco. And Sean Bernard is stepping to the plate. And Bernard has a 0-0-0 batting. He's looking for his first hit. He has scored a couple runs. He's walked once, struck out twice. He does have an on-base percentage of 200. And that pitch is high and away. And that pitch caught the inside corner. He's got one of those numbers that sometimes players get teased about. That's a strike right down the middle of Water Street. He's wearing number 99. And sometimes people say, is that your age or your batting average? And a swing and a miss, strike three. Pretty rare to see a number anything above the 40s, even when they're up in the 40s. There, you sometimes see them at spring training, but otherwise, it's pretty rare to see numbers that high. Kane Johnson wearing a much more reasonable number 5. He's the catcher today. And he grounds it over to third. Scooped there by Bemnister, fired to first to Delikowski, and he got it. That's going to bring Ryan Cisco. He's the first member of the Eagles that actually has a batting average. He's batting .250 on the year. He's playing second base. Swing and a miss for strike one. Rathke had him fooled that time. He was way out in front of it. And he knew it as soon as he swung. And a strike on the outside corner. Teddy Joas does like the corners, and Eli Rathke knows that. No balls, 2 strikes to Ryan Cisco. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So 6 up and 6 down so far for the Menomonie Eagles. And we still have no score from Carson Park on NLWN-TV.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
Yeah, I think one of the things us veterans are hoping for is soon the cabin will be built.
It's going to be amazing to be able to come to a place like this and stay at a cabin with amazing people, animals, a view, and get away from it all.
Country Haven Farms is fundraising to complete our cabin, giving Wisconsin veterans and their families a much-needed escape in the Northwoods. Donations of any amount are encouraged, and sponsorships are available at all levels. To make a donation or sponsorship, please visit our website or give us a call.
So we're going to head into the bottom of the second inning. Due up for the Cavaliers is Sam Knickerbocker, Cody Dayton, and Brayton Tillman. Knickerbocker leading the way for the Cavaliers hitting-wise, batting .356. And there's a strike on the outside corner. Zach Peterson on the mound for the Eagles. He delivers. Knickerbocker grounds it over to first. Scooped up there by Schaffen. He makes the play at first. That's going to bring up Cody Dayton. Dayton batting .278. He's 8 Or check that, 10 for 36, and that first pitch was, I think I heard him say strike, and it didn't show. There it is. Fly ball out into left field, and Bernard is under it, and he makes the catch. That's going to bring up Brayton Tillman. Tillman batting .333. Pitch is a little bit high for a ball. Infield shifted a little bit to the right. Verdon at short is almost behind second. And that one high and inside, so it's 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Line shot out into right field, falls in for a base hit. Brayton Tillman is on with a single. That's going to bring up Trenton Palmer, the designated hitter, batting .255. So Tillman at first. Tillman with a lead. And throw over to first. Tillman's back in. That left-handed pitcher, you got to be careful. And the pitch is a strike called. Throw over to first. Tillman was back. No balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Swung on a missed strike two. Tillman takes his lead. The pitch is a called third strike over the outside corner. So Trenton Palmer goes down, as do the Cavaliers. No runs, one hit, no errors, one left. We've played two, and no score at Carson Park on NLWN-TV.
The Phoenix are rising. NLWN-2 and the Northern Light Webcasting Network are excited to be your home for Chippewa Valley Phoenix semi-pro football. Our next game will be on July 6th when the Phoenix will recognize military, EMS, and law enforcement personnel by facing the Buffalo Ridge Wildcats at Carson Park. Keep following the Phoenix on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN-2. That's exciting Chippewa Valley Phoenix football on July 6th.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years, and I got my third child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
We're back here at Carson Park. Going into the top of the third inning, due up for the Menomonie Eagles is Cooper Bruja, Paige Sorensen, and Parker Verdon. Bruja comes into the game batting .167. Here's the pitch. Fly ball into shallow left field. Moving under it is Tillman, and he makes the catch. That'll bring up Paige Sorensen. Sorensen still looking for his first hit of the season. That pitch was inside. Sorensen does have an on-base percentage of .222. Check swing foul. Counts all even at 1-1. Here's the wind in the pitch. Ground ball right to Erickson at short. Throws it over to first, and he got it. Brings up Parker Verdon. Verdon is the other player for the Eagles that has a batting average. He's batting .333. And swings and misses for strike one. Rathke winds and delivers. Missed outside. Rathke starts his motion, the 1-1 pitch. That's outside in the other batter's box. If you're going to lose control of one, that's a good time. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Parker Verdon. And a foul at the plate. Counts even at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, nobody on. Top of the third inning, no score from Carson Park. Here's the wind, the 2-2 pitch. Strike called right down the middle of Water Street. And Verdon goes down looking, as do the Eagles. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base, and we have played 2.5. And still no score from Carson Park on NLWN-TV.
To get your lawn or garden to perform like you want, you first need to know about your soil. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 715-586-1302. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for the Chippewa Valley.
The Phoenix are rising. NLWN-2 and the Northern Light Webcasting Network are excited to be your home for Chippewa Valley Phoenix semi-pro football. Our next game will be on July 6th when the Phoenix will recognize military, EMS, and law enforcement personnel by facing the Buffalo Ridge Wildcats at Carson Park. Keep following the Phoenix on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN-2. That's exciting Chippewa Valley Phoenix football on July 6th.
Back here at Carson Park, heading into the bottom of the third inning, due up for the Cavaliers, Tyson Woodcock, Jerome Delikowski, and Jackson Vance. And the first pitch to Woodcock is low for a ball. Woodcock comes into the game batting .250. And a chopper over to third, picked up, thrown over to first, and they got him. That was Sorensen over to Schaff. On the putout, that brings up Jerome Delikowski. Delikowski batting .161. And we've been saying this all season long. We're just waiting for him to get a hold of one. He's got that ability. Peterson delivers. There's a strike called at the knees. Here's the pitch. Fly ball out into center field. Coming in is DeMarce, and he makes the catch. Jackson Vance will come to the plate as the extra hitter, batting .250. He's only had 8 at-bats this year. Most of his work has been done from the mound. He's 2 for 8. Got a couple RBIs, though. First pitch is outside for a ball. And the pitch. Fly ball out into center field. That's going to fall in. And Jackson Vance singles to shallow center. So that's going to bring up back to the top of the order. Caden Erickson grounded to second his first time up. Vance with a lead. Here's the pitch. Foul back. Just off to our right. And the pitch. That got Erickson in the hip. So it puts runners at first and second for the Cavaliers. That's the 5th time this season Erickson's been hit. Xavier Bemnister flew out to center field his first time up. Looks at a called strike. Peterson looks over at second. And delivers. That's high and away. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. 2 runners on. Jackson Vance getting a little attention over at second. Peterson looks over there. And foul back into the screen. Peterson delivers. Pop up out in the foul territory, moving over his Schaff, and he makes the catch. So for the Cavaliers, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 were left on base. We've played 3, and it's still 0-0 from Carson Park on NLWN-TV.
Royal Credit Union's low rates and flexible terms on auto loans can help keep your payments low. Get a great rate on your next car or truck purchase, or refinance an existing vehicle with an auto loan from Royal Credit Union. Royal also offers loans for buying or refinancing boats, UTVs, and other vehicles. Royal Credit Union wants to help keep your payments low. Check rates and apply for a Royal Credit Union vehicle loan online at rcu.org/autorate. Subject to credit approval.
Dear moms and dads, what you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas.
You know it's true.
Mom, we love you always.
Everything I do.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Back here at Carson Park as we go to the 4th inning. Still no score. Top of the order now for the Menomonie Eagles. Zach DeMars flew out to center field his first time up. And the first pitch is a called strike on the outside corner. Rathke delivers. That one missed inside. We were talking between innings, a couple innings ago, that when Teddy Joas is behind the plate, you better be thinking swinging the bat because his strike zone is plenty wide. That was a little low for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. Teddy will give the pitcher the corners. 2-1 pitch. Fly ball out into center field. It's going to fall in. It's going to roll out to the wall. DeMars is rounding second, looking for third. Here comes the throw. It's not going to be in time. So DeMars leads things off with a triple to center field. Alex Slind comes to the plate. He struck out his first time up. That pitch just missed. Must have been a little bit low. That's the first triple by DeMars. It has the first triple for the Eagles this season. There's a strike on the outside third of the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike to Slind. That one missed inside. Knickerbocker knocked it down. Probably prevented a run by knocking it down. 2 balls and 1 strike. Hat's fouled away. Counts even at 2-2. Rathke needs a strikeout here. Cavaliers playing the corners up. Rathke steps off the rubber. Slind steps back in. Rathke at the belt. The 2-2 pitch. Inside. And ball 4. So runners on the corners now. It's going to bring up Matt Schaff. Knickerbocker calls time, wants to go out and talk to Rathke a little bit. Be interesting to see how the Cavs defend this with runners on the corners. See when and if the Eagles send Slind to second. Schaff grounded into a 1-6-3 ground out his first time up. It bounced off of Rathke's shoulder and right over into Erickson's glove, and he fired it over to first. Here's the pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 1. I guess foul tipped it. Rathke came with a little bit of heat that time. Slind takes his lead at first. He goes. Throw down to second, and they were working the play. Slind is safe at second as Erickson cut it off and was ready to make the play at the plate. So now runners at second and third. No balls, 2 strikes to Schaff. Rathke delivers. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So 1 down, 2 runners on. That's strikeout number 5 for Rathke. Sean Bernard is at the plate. There's a strike called. Rathke delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 2. When in trouble, go back to the fastball. And that's what Rathke is doing. No balls, 2 strikes. And he fires. Ground ball, high hopper, throw to the plate. They've got the runner there and a rundown. And they got him at third. That's a 5-2-6. 5-2-6 on that play. So Bernard gets on a fielder's choice. And DeMars is out. 5-2-6. And 2 down. Runners at first and second. Kane Johnson, who grounded to third his first time up. Rathke looks at second and delivers. It's high for a ball. One ball, no strikes. And the 1-0 pitch. That just missed low. 2-0. Here's the pitch. And a strike called on the outside corner. He threw it to second, and he got in. That was really close. Two balls, 1 strike. Pitch to Johnson's outside. 3-1 is the count. And the 3-1 pitch. Check swing, fouled. He swung at ball 4 there, or ball 3. And we've got full count. Scoreboard now has it 2-2. And Teddy Joyce has it at 2-2. And strike 3 called. The Cavaliers get out of it. Rathke was in a bit of a pickle, but no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left. And the score after 3.5, it's Menomonie nothing, Cavaliers nothing on NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ballgame.
Our next game will be on Wednesday, July 3rd, as the Cavaliers take on the Augusta Athletics from Carson Park. Coverage begins with the In the Dugout show at 6:30, followed by live play-by-play action. That's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on Wednesday, July 3rd on NLWN-TV.
Hi. I'm your retirement fear. But don't be scared. You're still in pre-retirement.
Does that mean I have more time to plan?
Precisely. Here, this is pretirement.org.
Retirement savings options? Potential tax breaks?
Ooh.
This isn't scary. I'm doing it.
You got this.
Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan.
Hi. I'm your retirement.
Life's daily battles are not meant to be fought alone.
We're not powerless, so long as we don't lose sight of what's important.
Don't be afraid to seize that moment to talk to your friends.
Cloud, you okay?
Because checking in on a friend can create a safe space.
The first step on our new journey.
Coming up for the Cavaliers in the bottom of the fourth inning is Cade Mueller. Mueller struck out his first time up. That pitch is inside for a ball. Zach Peterson still on the mound for the Eagles. That pitch is outside for a ball. Two balls and no strikes. And that one's inside. Ball three. Suspicion is Cade Mueller is not swinging the bat here. The 3-0 pitch. It's outside. He called that a strike. Mueller thought it was a ball. 3 balls and 1 strike. And the 3-1 pitch. That's a called strike on the inside corner. So the count goes full now. Peterson delivers. Foul tip at the plate. Mueller fouled it off himself. And the pitch. Swing on a miss, strike one. Or strike three, I should say. 1 out. Actually got a little piece of it, but it was held on to by Johnson. That'll bring up Sam Knickerbocker. The president of the Sam Knickerbocker fan club is up here in the press box, and she's whistling and cheering him on. There's a strike called at the letters. Knickerbocker grounded out to first unassisted. His first time up. There's another strike, and he knew it. No balls, 2 strikes. Peterson's 0-2 pitch. Ground ball over to third. Picked up there by Sorensen. Throw over to first is in time. That'll bring up Cody Dayton. Dayton flew out to left in his first appearance. And that first pitch was a ball. And the pitch. Ground ball over to second. Kind of handcuffed him there, but throw over to first in time. So the Cavs go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We played 4 and a lot of goose eggs on that scoreboard on NLWN-TV.
C&K Construction is your source for high-quality concrete and construction work in the Chippewa Valley.
Established in 2014, C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls is a leading concrete contractor proud to serve Eau Claire, Altoona, Menomonie, and surrounding areas. Specializing in concrete construction, excavating, flatwork poured walls, and much more, they're right for all of your concrete needs. Call C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls at 715-559-1335.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training on a Friday afternoon, and the very next day he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. You don't know how much somebody can hide what's going on inside their head. Store your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Back here at Carson Park, 5th inning, no score. Cavaliers against the Menomonie Eagles. And due up for the Eagles is Ryan Cisco, Cooper Bruja, and Cage Sorensen. Cisco struck out his first time up. Rathke delivers, and it's high and inside for a ball. Cisco had to duck out of the way. That pitch is inside, goes all the way back to the backstop. Two 2-0 is the count. Here's the pitch. That's a strike on the inside corner. Two balls, one strike. Rathke's pitch swung on a miss. Got to chase one a little bit low on the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And chop foul. Count holds at 2-2. Rathke winds and delivers. Ground ball over to Erickson at short. Throw to first in time. They get Cisco. There was a song about him, wasn't there? The Cisco Kid, he was a friend of mine? Yeah. Okay. All right. Cooper Bruja. That pitch is inside for a ball. And there's a strike on the outside corner. And the pitch, chopped foul down the third baseline. Here's the wind in the pitch. Another foul ball. Made a couple of Cavs get their feet out of the way to get out of the way of that one. Dalton Steele went running down the warning path to get it. And another foul ball. This one goes the other way. Count holds at 1-2. 1 out. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Rathke delivers. Swing and a miss. That's the 7th strikeout for Rathke. Gage Sorensen steps to the plate. Grounded to short his first time up. That one just missed inside. Here's the wind in the pitch. There's a strike called. That one caught the inside corner. Rathke delivers. Sorensen sees it bounce in front of the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. And the pitch. Strike called on that inside corner. Rathke painted the black with that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So the Eagles go down in order in a game that I'm going to risk the curse is moving right along. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Still no score from Carson Park on NLWN-TV.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal. The sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us, on the roads that unite us. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to be the fuel that keeps you firing on all cylinders.
Visit either of Eau Claire's 2 locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores on Highway 93 or North Claremont Avenue.
I've always been told I gotta be strong. Thick skin, tough as nails. But to be everything for everybody, it wears on you. Black don't crack, they say. But it can. We all can. Reach out to a friend if you see them going through it. No matter who you are, being vulnerable is what makes us whole. Learn how to help at seizetheawkward.org.
So coming to the plate for the Cavaliers in the bottom of the 5th inning is Brayton Tillman. He singled to right his last time up. One of the Cavs' 2 hits. He'll be followed by Trenton Palmer and Tyson Woodcock. There's a strike on the outside corner. Curveball got there. There's the pitch. There's a strike. Pretty much right down the middle of the plate. Oh, 0-2 is the count. That's high. I believe it's 1-2. Yes. And the pitch. That's high and away. Counts even at 2-2. And the pitch. That's high, and the count goes full. So from an 0-2 count, Tillman has worked it back to a full count. And the pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 3. That's the 4th strikeout for Peterson tonight. It's going to bring up Trenton Palmer. He went down looking his first time up. Neither team has had much for base runners. Cavs have 2 hits. Erickson also got on when he was hit by the pitch. There's a strike at the letters. And the pitch is outside. One ball, one strike. Swung on a miss. Strike two. You may get a little razzing from the dugout on that one because that one was high and tight. One ball, two strikes. That's outside for a ball. Counts all even. Two balls, two strikes to number 2-2. And there's a called third strike, second time tonight that Palmer's gone down looking. That'll bring up our Cavalier profile person today, Tyson Woodcock. Woodcock grounded to third in his first appearance. A curveball that stayed a little bit high. Ball and no strikes. And ball two. Here's the pitch. That's a strike called at the letters. If you saw that profile, you know that Woodcock is a tall drink of water. That one's outside. So those are high letters. Hitter's pitch, 3-1 to Tyson Woodcock. And ball four. So Woodcock draws the walk. That's the first walk given up by Peterson. Brings up Jerome Delikowski, who flew out to center field. Long fly ball out towards left, but it's playable. Moving over is Bernard, and he makes the catch. So for the Cavaliers, no runs, no hits, no errors, one left on base. We've played 5, and nobody's figured out how to score a run yet on NLWN-TV.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right. As a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Well, we head to the 6th inning. Still no score. Due up for the Menomonie Eagles. Parker Burton. He'll be followed by Zach DeMars and then Alex Slind. Burton struck out looking his first time up. And there's a strike right down the middle of Water Street. Here's the wind and the pitch. That's low. A ball and a strike. And a ground ball fielded by Erickson. Throw to first in time. That's the fourth put out by Erickson on a ground ball. One of them was a little bit unusual. Bounced off of Rathke's shoulder and over to Erickson. Zach DeMars is at the plate. He tripled his last time up. There's a strike on the inside corner. And he was caught in a rundown trying to score a little later. Foul down the first baseline is 0-2. And DeMars tripled to lead off the fourth inning. And a strike three called. And the Cavaliers got out of that bit of a bind that they had with a runner on third, nobody out, and nobody came in to score. Alex Slind struck out and walked. We have activity going on down in the Cavalier bullpen. Swing and a miss, strike one. And the pitch is high. And there's another called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And there's strike three. Strikeout number 10 for Rathke. And for the Eagles, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We played 5.5, and we're scoreless at Carson Park on NLWN-TV.
Ready for a better way to bank? Switch to Royal Credit Union. Royal Credit Union is a financial co-op, not a corporation, so we return earnings to our members. That means you get low or no fees for account services and better rates on deposits and loans. You'll also have all the digital tools you need at your fingertips, so managing your account is easy. Royal is ready to help you discover the credit union difference. Switch to Royal Credit Union today at rcu.org/difference. Insured by NCUA.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years, and I got my third child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
Going into the bottom of the 6th inning, Jackson Vance to lead things off for the Cavaliers. He singled his first time up. Then we'll head back to the top of the order. And, you know, they say third time through the lineup is always the tough one, and that's what the Cavs will be getting ready to do. Cavaliers, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. Menomonie, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. Vance shows bunt and put it down the third baseline foul. So no balls and a strike. And the pitch. Line shot out into left field for a base hit. Jackson Vance rounds first and holds. He's got a 2-hit night. It's going to bring up Caden Erickson. Erickson grounded to second and was hit by the pitch in his second appearance. Again, don't be surprised to see Vance take off sometime along in here. He's got a pretty decent lead right now. Peterson looks at first and now delivers. Erickson shows bunt and it missed outside. Vance with the lead and the throw over to first, and he's back. Vance with the lead, throw over to first, and he's back again. And the pitch. Erickson offers at that one, fouled it back. A ball and a strike. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Erickson bounces it back past the pitcher, and everybody's going to be safe. And nobody was covering third. Vance held it second. So give Erickson a hit. Just past the pitcher. And everybody was safe. Runners at first and second for the Cavaliers. Here comes Xavier Bemnister. He's 0 for 2. Flew out to center field and fouled out to the first baseman. He shows bunt. Bunts it down the first baseline. Throw over to first. And it's an errant first into the score. Is Vance. And here comes Erickson towards the plate. And he's going to score. Xavier Bemnister put down the bunt. It's going to be an error on the throw. But Erickson scores, as did Jackson Vance. It's going to bring up Cade Mueller. He struck out twice. And the Cavs have opened up a 2-0 lead. And a fly ball out towards left field. Foul. Had he straightened it out, it did not have the distance to get out of here, but it would have been interesting. Because Bemnister at first would have probably ended up on third. Throw over to first, and Bemnister's back. No balls and a strike. Peterson looks at first. And he delivered. Bemnister goes. Ground ball to third. That's a fair ball. Throw over to first. They're not going to have a play. And let's see how they score that one. Well, they haven't yet. At any rate, it put Bemnister on second. They have put it up as an error on the third baseman. So Cavs have 2 runners on with nobody out. And pop up. This should be infield fly rule. It's already been called, and Schaff moves over to make the catch. That'll bring up Cody Dayton. Dayton's 0 for 2. He flew out to left and grounded to second. Runner goes, and the catcher can't find the handle. So Bemnister gets credit for a stolen base, as does Mueller because he went down to second. There's the pitch. That's inside for a ball. Peterson looks over at third. They're not holding Bemnister at third. And there's a fly ball out towards right field. Coming on is Slime. And in to score on the sacrifice fly is Bemnister. So Cody Dayton gets credit for a sacrifice fly and an RBI as Bemnister comes in to score. It's going to bring up Brayton Tillman with 2 down now. Runner on third. That's Cade Mueller on third. Tillman is 1 for 2, singled and struck out. Here's the pitch. Short pop foul, right up against the fence. Sorensen couldn't get over there in time. So no balls and a strike to Brayton Tillman. And the pitch, strike called on the outside corner. 0-2. And the pitch. That's high and inside. 1-2 now to Tillman. He has the second highest batting average. Well, he's a 3-way tie for that. Fly ball out into left center field, and that's going to fall in. Tillman rounds first, goes for second, and in to score was Cade Mueller. That's going to bring up Trenton Palmer. Palmer is 0 for 2, struck out twice. That pitch was a little bit outside. And a swing and a miss. And the pitch. It's high. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. A lot of 2s up on that scoreboard right now. 22 with 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Runner goes, strike three called. That's the third time he's gone down looking. But for the Cavaliers, they come up with 4 runs on 3 hits. There were 2 errors by Menomonie and 1 man left on base. So we have now played 6 innings, and it's the Cavaliers 4 and the Menomonie Eagles nothing on NLWN-TV.
If your estate isn't looking quite estate-like, let Midwest Environmental Consultants landscape your estate right up to snuff with installation of retaining walls, brick patios, foundation planting beds, and so much more. Then they'll keep it that way with their expert lawn care service. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your estate the showplace of the neighborhood.
Yeah, I think one of the things us veterans are hoping for is soon the cabin will be built.
It's going to be amazing to be able to come to a place like this and stay at a cabin with amazing people, animals, a view, and get away from it all.
Country Haven Farms is fundraising to complete our cabin, giving Wisconsin veterans and their families a much-needed escape in the Northwoods. Donations of any amount are encouraged, and sponsorships are available at all levels. To make a donation or sponsorship, please visit our website or give us a call.
Back here at Carson Park. And we have a bunch of changes. We have right field, left field, and a shortstop change. And yeah, Josh Garcia goes into shortstop. Windeshausen is now in left field. And Matt Schaaf is at the plate, and the first pitch is fouled away. O'Reilly is now out in right field. And the pitch. That's inside for a ball. Here's the pitch. Ground ball over to first. It gets through into right field. And Schaaf has a single. And we also have a different second baseman for the Cavs. That's Dalton Steele. And we're going to get a pinch runner. The pinch runner, I think, is the pitcher. At any rate, Sean Bernard is at the plate. Throw over to first, and they call him safe. I think Delikowski thought he got him on the sweep tag. But Paul Osman says, nope. Rathke's pitch. Ground ball, fair ball down the third baseline, down into left field, picked up by Windeshausen, and all of a sudden there's 2 runners on for Menomonie. That's going to bring up Kane Johnson. Johnson's 0 for 2. He grounded to third and struck out looking. Schaaf, or it's not Schaaf at second. I think it's Peterson out there running at second. Haven't had a good look at his number, but I think it is. Shows bunt, and it's foul. Yes, it's Peterson running at second. There, he turned around so we could see his number. Kane Johnson at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 on, nobody out. Rathke delivers. High pop-up, foul territory. Delikowski makes the catch. It's going to bring up Ryan Cisco. Cisco's 0 for 2. Struck out and grounded to short. Soft blooper foul. Delikowski kind of stumbled heading over that way, or he might have been able to get to it. And throw it on to first. And he's back in there safely. It's Bernard over there at first. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. Liner just out of the reach of Garcia. Coming in to score is Peterson. So that's going to be a RBI base hit for Cisco. And that'll bring up Cooper Bruja with 1 out, 2 runners on. And that first pitch is a ball. And the pitch. Ground ball or liner foul down the third baseline. Had it been fair, I think Bemnister would have been there for it. Just a little bit beyond his range. A ball and a strike with 1 out. Rathke throws a second, but back in plenty of time is Bernard. Rathke at the belt. And the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 2. And the pitch. That's high. Counts even at 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. That's 11 strikeouts tonight for Eli Rathke. And Knickerbocker calls time to go out and talk with him. I think Rathke might have had something in his eye, and Knickerbocker was going out just give him time to make sure it was cleaned out and everything was good to go. Stepping to the plate is Cage Sorensen. Sorensen's 0 for 2. Grounded to short and struck out. Rathke delivers a strike right over that outside corner. And the pitch. Fly ball out towards right field. Coming in is O'Reilly, and he makes the catch. And down go the Eagles, but they do get one run on 3 hits. There were no errors, and 2 were left on base. So we've played 6.5. Time for the 7th inning stretch. And it's the Cavaliers 4 and the Menomonie Eagles 1 on NLWN-TV.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jaina passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jaina Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
to learn more or to help financially, find us on Facebook or www.jainakelly.com.
But don't be scared. You're still in pre-retirement.
Does that mean I have more time to plan?
Precisely. Here, this is pretirement.org.
Retirement savings options? Potential tax breaks?
Ooh,
This isn't scary. I'm doing it.
you got this.
Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan.
So we head into the bottom of the 7th inning. Cavaliers on top, 4-1. Tyson Woodcock steps to the plate. He grounded to third and drew a walk. Zach Peterson still on the mound. Foul ball just over the press box. No balls and a strike. A little bit of activity going on down in the Cavalier bullpen. And there's one called strike on the inside corner. Dalton Steele warming up down there. There's the pitch. Ground ball over to second. Picked up there, throw over to first, and they got him. Throw was wide, but Schaff made the reach and got the catch. That'll bring up Jerome Delikowski. Delikowski is 0 for 2. He flew out both times up, once to center and once to left. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Peterson looks in. Now he delivers. That's low and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's a line shot, base hit out in the left field. Delikowski with a good solid hit. It's going to bring up Jackson Vance. Vance has a 2-hit night tonight. He singled to center field his first time up, then his second time up, singled to left, came around and scored. That pitch just missed inside. Here's Peterson's pitch. That was inside. Chased Vance off the plate that time. 2 balls and no strikes. Here's the pitch. That's high, ball 3. And the pitch. That's high for ball 4. So Vance has reached successfully all 3 times he stepped to the plate. And it's going to bring up Josh Garcia. He's replacing Caden Erickson. Garcia's batting 111. Pitch is high and away for a ball. Here's the pitch. Fly ball out towards left field. That could fall down. It did. And in at third and safe. And the Cavs have loaded the bases. So we have Delikowski on third, Vance on second, and Garcia on first. Xavier Bemnister comes to the plate. Reached on an error his last time up. They're going to have a bit of a conversation at the mound. And looks to me like they're going to leave Peterson there. When Bemnister reached on an error by the catcher, it allowed 2 runs to come in to score. Vance scored and Caden Erickson scored. Bases loaded, 1 out. Foul back into the net. Here's the pitch. Fly ball out into shallow center field. It falls in for a base hit. Delikowski comes in. Second runner coming in, and in to score is Jackson Vance. So a 2 RBI single for Xavier Bemnister. Makes a score. Cavaliers 6 and Menomonie 1. Two runners on, and we're going to have a pitching change, and we'll get that all figured out right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Seize the awkward. It's totally worth it. Life's daily battles are not meant to be fought alone.
We're not powerless, so long as we don't lose sight of what's important.
Don't be afraid to seize that moment to talk to your friends.
Cloud, you okay?
Because checking in on a friend can create a safe space.
The first step on our new journey. You coming?
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Seize the awkward. It's totally worth it. Life's daily battles are not meant to be fought alone.
We're not.
I've always been told I gotta be strong. Thick skin, tough as nails. But to be everything for everybody, it wears on you. Black don't crack, they say. But it can. We all can. Reach out to a friend if you see them going through it. No matter who you are, being vulnerable is what makes us whole. Learn how to help at seizetheawkward.org.
We have a new rump on the bump. It is Parker Verdon. And the first pitch to Connor O'Reilly is high for a ball. O'Reilly is replacing Cade Mueller, and O'Reilly comes in with a 125 batting average. Runner takes off. And Cavaliers stole third. And then he tried to make a play over to first, and Bemnister got over to first safely. So Garcia's on third, Bemnister at second. O'Reilly at the plate. 1-0 is the count. And how Verdon did that without balking, I don't know. There's the pitch. Pop foul out of play. Now we will have some defensive changes for the Eagles. Line shot out into left field. It's going to fall in for a base hit. Garcia comes in to score. Here comes Bemnister in to score. And a 2 RBI single for Connor O'Reilly. That makes it 8-1 Cavaliers on top. Brings up Sam Knickerbocker. Knickerbocker's 0 for 3. And there's a strike called. Here's the pitch. It's outside for a ball. Peterson went from the mound over to first base. That pitch is in the dirt for a ball. Runner goes. And safely at second is O'Reilly. So I think I have the defensive changes correct now for the Menomonie Eagles. Cisco is now at short. Schaff at second. Peterson at first with Verdon on the mound. Here's the pitch. Inside. Two balls, two strikes. Connor O'Reilly at second. One out. And the pitch. Strike called on the outside corner. That's going to bring up Dalton Steele. Steele batting 182. He's into the lineup replacing Cody Dayton. And the first pitch is a called strike. 2 down. Connor O'Reilly on second. And the pitch. Strike called on the outside corner. Parker Verdon has a 2.45 ERA. There's the pitch. Ground ball over to short, picked up there by Cisco. Throw to first, and it's in time. So the Cavaliers pick up. We have some substitutions, but the Cavaliers picked up 4 runs on 4 hits. There were no errors and 1 left on base. So we've played 7 innings, and it's the Cavaliers 8 and the Menomonie Eagles 1 on NLWN-TV.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right, as a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
Okay, we have the defensive changes straightened out for you. It's actually not that complicated. Jackson Vance goes from the extra hitter to play third base, and Xavier Bedminster becomes the extra hitter. And in addition to that, Ashton Kroll is now out in center field. There's a fly ball by Verdon, moving over and making the catch is Dalton Steele. That'll bring Zach DeMars. DeMars is 1 for 3. The one was a big one, though. It was a triple, but nothing came of it. Cavaliers worked their way out of that inning. First pitch was outside. This one, that caught the corner. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Here's the wind by Rathke. And misses outside for a ball. And the pitch. That's high. 3 balls and a strike. And the 3-1 pitch. That's ball 4. So DeMars draws the walk. That's the second walk given up by Rathke today. Here's the pitch. Shows bunt. It's a nice bunt down the first base line. Knickerbocker fires to first. So the sacrifice is completed. And it puts DeMars on second. And up comes Matt Schaff. Or check that. They're saying Peterson. Oh, Peterson came into this spot in the lineup. And there's a strike called. Throw over to second, goes out into center field, but he can't go anywhere. DeMars wasn't able to go beyond. No balls and one strike. And the pitch. That's a strike on the outside third. In fact, if I check my book here, Peterson did come in and run for Schaff. The last time Schaff was up, it looked like Schaff might have pulled a hamstring or something. That pitch is high. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Or it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And that must have been a little bit high because it was right down Water Street otherwise. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. To Zach Peterson. Throw over to second. That one goes out into center field and picking it up finally is Ashton Kroll. We're going to give him third base on an error on the shortstop. Here's the pitch. There's a strike call. So, for the Menomonie Eagles, no runs, no hits. There was 1 Cavalier error and 1 man left on base. We've played 7.5, and it's the Cavaliers 8 and the Menomonie Eagles 1 on NLWN-TV.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, but with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. And you can change the outcome. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right. As a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
The Phoenix are rising. NLWN-2 and the Northern Light Webcasting Network are excited to be your home for Chippewa Valley Phoenix Semi-Pro football. Our next game will be on July 6th when the Phoenix will recognize military, EMS, and law enforcement personnel by facing the Buffalo Ridge Wildcats at Carson Park. Keep following the Phoenix on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN-2. That's exciting Chippewa Valley Phoenix football on July 6th.
Dear moms and dads, what you have achieved here.
We have a new pitcher out there for the Eagles, and that's Tyler Legge. So Verdon got credit for 2/3 of an inning. Did not give up any runs. He did give up a hit. And he struck out 1. Carson Windeshausen at the plate for the Cavs. That pitch is inside. His count is 1-1. Windeshausen batting .234. Swing and a miss, strike two. Here's the pitch. Outside. Counts even at 2-2. Here's the wind and the 2-2 pitch. Swung on a miss. They got a piece of it. Fouled it back. Count holds at 2-2. And the pitch. That one's fouled away. Windeshausen is battling again. He's been known to do this. Here's the pitch. Swung on, missed, strike three. Windeshausen chased one outside of the zone and went down swinging. That's going to bring up Trenton Palmer. Pitches outside for a ball. Palmer's 0 for 3. He struck out looking all three times. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. He's having a frustrating night at the plate. Here's the pitch. There's a strike called. Well framed that time by Kane Johnson. Here's the pitch. That's outside. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. And another one outside, so the count is full. Three balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 called. He's gone down looking 4 times. 2 up, 2 down for the Cavaliers in the bottom of the 8th. That's going to bring up Ashton Kroll. Kroll is swinging and missing for strike 1. He's in there right now for Tyson Woodcock, and he's got a 200 batting average. Here's the wind and the pitch. Strike called. No balls, 2 strikes to Ashton Kroll. Tyler Legge on the mound, and he delivers, and it's fouled off the plate. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Here's the pitch. Strike called on the outside corner. And Tyler Legge came in and did his job. 3 up, 3 down for the Cavaliers. We've completed 8, and it's the Cavaliers 8 and the Menomonie Eagles 1 on NLWN-TV.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Powerless, so long as we don't lose sight of what's important.
Don't be afraid to seize that moment to talk to your friends.
Cloud, you okay?
Because checking in on a friend can create a safe space.
The first step on our new journey. You coming?
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Seize the awkward. It's totally worth it.
So we're going to head to the ninth inning. Cavaliers with an 8-1 lead over the Menomonie Eagles. Due up for the Eagles is Sean Bernard, Kane Johnson, and Ryan Cisco. Cavaliers have 8 runs on 9 hits. They've committed 1 error, and they've left, it looks like, 4 on base. That it might actually be 5, 6, or 7. I think it's 7 left on base. First pitch is a called strike to Bernard. The 0-1 pitch. Laced out into right field. Bernard rounds first. That's his second hit of the day. That's going to bring up Kane Johnson. He's 0 for 3. Struck out, grounded to third, and fouled out to Delikowski in foul territory. Pitch is outside for a ball. And the pitch. Chop foul at the plate. There's the pitch, and it's fouled away. Count goes to 1-2. We have a new third baseman out for the Cavaliers. I'll tell you who it is in just a minute. That pitch is outside. Oh, it's Jackson Vance, I believe. Or did Vance go to short? Vance is at short. Garcia's at third. Pitch is outside for a ball. Three balls and 2 strikes to Kane Johnson. And it's a called third strike. That's the 13th strikeout of the game for Eli Rathke. 1 down. And Ryan Cisco is at the plate. Swung on a miss, strike 1. Rathke looks over at first. And the pitch. Throw down to first. Not in time. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ryan Cisco. And the pitch. That's a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cisco struck out, grounded to short, and then singled to left his 3 appearances. There's a high hopper, foul territory. over by third base. So the count holds at 1-2. Here's the pitch. That's outside. Counts all even now. And the pitch. That's high. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner goes, swung on a missed strike 3, throw it on to second. And he's in. He got in under the tag. Cisco goes down swinging. Bernard got the stolen base. He's on second. And it's going to bring up Cooper Broha. And there's a strike called on the outside corner. And the pitch. And another strike on the outside corner. Menomonies down to their final strike. And there's strike 3 called, and that will do it. 15 strikeout performance by Eli Rathke. And the Eagles get no runs on 1 hit. There were no Cavalier errors and 1 man left on base. So, final score is the Menomonie Eagles only had 1, but the Cavaliers had 8. And we'll have a lot more about this one when we come back in Talking Baseball right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
You've been watching Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball on NLWN-TV. This copyrighted presentation has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network in conjunction with the Eau Claire Cavaliers and is intended for the enjoyment of the viewing and listening audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction in any form without the express written consent of the Northern Light Webcasting Network LLC and the Eau Claire Cavaliers is prohibited. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Talkin' Baseball, with a look back at today's game.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Time now for Talkin' Baseball with a wrap-up of today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. And now, back out to the ballpark.
And we're out here at Carson Park. Rick Olson along with Ann Monroe on the computer and Cameron Rickoff. Cameron on the camera today, and Cavaliers come away winners by the final score of 8-1, and that brings the Cavalier record to 13-7 so far on the season. The Menomonie Eagles now have a record of 0-3 on the season. Winning pitcher in this game was Eli Rathke. So his record is now 4-0. And the losing pitcher is Zach Peterson. Rathke went the distance. They went all 9 innings. He allowed 1 run, which was earned, gave up 5 hits, struck out 15, and walked only 2. And we are waiting up here in just a couple of moments because we should have Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister coming up to talk with us. And while we wait, we'll take this time out on NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ballgame.
Our next game will be on Wednesday, July 3rd, as the Cavaliers take on the Augusta Athletics from Carson Park. Coverage begins with the In the Dugout show at 6:30, followed by live play-by-play action. That's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on Wednesday, July 3rd on NLWN-TV.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
And we're back here at Carson Park and being joined by Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister. And took a little while, but finally, all of a sudden, the bats came around and got you some runs on the board.
Well, the bats came around, but it was all intelligent hitting. The guys saw what was happening those first 4 innings, 5 innings, and honestly, they put it on their own hands to do what they did. So it was beautifully done and executed. So love it.
Speaking of beautifully done, once again, Eli Rathke came through and just pitched a gem of a game.
Did he?
I mean,
don't know. What, he gave up like 4 hits.
Yeah, I have 5. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
5 hits and only allowed 1 run.
He got beat on a little blooper.
Yeah.
You know, and then a ball that was hit pretty good. And, you know, he threw well again. He's been throwing really well recently. You know, he's had 1 hiccup on the year all along. And other than that, he's been perfect.
Well, this ought to get that earned run average back down to where you don't mind talking about it.
I'm never too worried about those things just because everybody's going to have a bad day. I was talking to one of the players down there that didn't have a very good day today, and he was a little upset. And I'm like, everybody has a bad day. It's not a big deal. The best thing, it doesn't matter. It's just come back the next day, be ready to play the next day.
Some days you struggle.
It's baseball. It's the dumbest game in the world.
And it's the greatest.
And it's the greatest.
So the Cavaliers have moved to 13-7. And, you know, this Menomonie team, they're a restart team. And so they're trying to get things figured out, put together. It looks like they've got the pieces in place to have a successful ball club with the addition of a couple players and getting a little experience. They're going to be fine.
Yeah, and they actually had an injury in the game there, and they were doing some moving and shaking around. And I told the head coach there, he's a really nice guy, not worry about it. Just do whatever you need to do, get guys in to finish the game out. You could do whatever. It's no big deal. It's non-conference. Just get some education on the ball fields for these guys. You're a young team. You only got 2 games in.
Yeah, it looked like
playing hard. So.
It looked like Schaff maybe pulled a hamstring
on the single that he had.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that he's okay. You know, he's going to check. They're going to check afterwards. We've talked about maybe hooking up and playing a few more games if there happens to be room on the schedule, just because they want to get more games in, and that's good for them and it's great for us. So it's a good team, and they're missing. I mean, they brought 10 guys to the stadium tonight. I mean, that you know, and I know. 10 guys.
That's tough.
Like a baseball
We've
team,
had that experience, and we came up on the short end of some scores because of that.
Yeah, and it's tough to play with 10, and They came in, they kept us at bay until the 6th inning or so, and then we just opened everything up in the 5th and 6th.
That Zach Peterson had a number of different pitches working for him and kept the Cavs off balance through about 6 innings.
Yeah. Everybody was sitting there going, please throw somebody harder. But I'm like, hey, guys, we're going to see 2, 3, 4 more guys in the CRBL that throw just like this. There's a guy, almost the mirror image of him, pitches for the Bears, who's an amazing pitcher. We're going to see him again. So seeing a guy like this and learning what to do.
You've got one on your team. I'm not sure if he was here tonight, but you've got one on your team who has befuddled teams because of that kind of pitching as well.
Yes, we do. So it's what you have to do, and you just got to be smarter and take a different approach to the plate. Guys made adjustments, and we went from there.
And Cavs played clean ball. The one thing that happened was the one throw out into center field that was a pickoff attempt at second. That's the only error in the game. Other than that, it was clean baseball. You play clean baseball and smart hitting with quality pitching, you're going to win a lot of baseball games.
100%. Yeah, that's exactly what we have to do. It's something that we talked about. Caden rallied the guys around and said we're going to have to manufacture some runs. Let's do it smart. Let's do this. Let's get going somehow, some way. And that seal was broken with Vance with the base hit, and then it was bunt hit, drive a run in. And
it didn't hurt to have Xavier's bunt down the first baseline get thrown out into right field, which brought in a couple runs.
Yeah, and I already talked to somebody. Yeah, that was a perfectly executed bunt for what we wanted to have done.
Right,
and he beat it out before the throw even got there. Anyways. Right. So it would have done what it did, but it did a better job because they threw it out there. And you've got Vance and you've got Caden on base with speed.
Right.
Okay, now you get Xavier was on first. He didn't advance on that. He kind of was tired because he ran past it. But he ended up scoring because speed on the base pass and smart hitting by everybody.
And that's the one thing you guys are really blessed with is a lot of speed.
Yes.
And you've talked about it. We could very easily go through this season with only one home run all year. And
I'd be fine.
I was going to say without any home, we already do have one.
Yeah. Well, Vance, that's the second time Vance scored. I mean, that was just a ground ball up the middle to center field.
Right.
He was at second. He just took off and he was going. And there wasn't even a throw. I mean, that's our.
He was past you before you had a chance to put up a hold sign.
I was pointing at third and said here as he hit the base, and I'm like, never mind. Go on home.
All right. Well, Wednesday, you're back into CRBL action against those pesky Augusta Athletics who can really cause trouble for teams.
Yes, they can. They're good ball. They're one of those up-and-coming teams. That group's got them going really well. It's going to be a fun little matchup for us. We come to the ballpark, watch some good baseball. We had a great crowd tonight. I mean, and this is a non-conference game. Let's see if we can fill the stands up with fans on Wednesday against Augusta and bring home another win.
That would be really good because you guys are still in the thick of the race for the CRBL South. You're hanging on for that number 4 seed right now in the CRBL playoffs, and a win against Augusta would go a long ways towards securing all of that.
And we're playing some really good ball. I mean, I think we started the CRBL conference play at 1-2 or 1-3. I mean, we're 8-4.
Right.
That should tell you what we're doing right now. We also started non-conference play at under 500. These guys are primed. You can just see it. Like it was building tonight too, but you can just see it. I think they're ready to make a big run.
Well, congratulations on the 8-1 win over the Menomonie Eagles tonight, and I guess we will see you on Wednesday.
Thank you.
And we'll have more talking baseball right after this timeout.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
It took 20 years, and I got my third child who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
The Phoenix are rising. NLWN-2 and the Northern Light Webcasting Network are excited to be your home for Chippewa Valley Phoenix semi-pro football. Our next game will be on July 6th when the Phoenix will recognize military, EMS, and law enforcement personnel by facing the Buffalo Ridge Wildcats at Carson Park. Keep following the Phoenix on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN-2. That's exciting Chippewa Valley Phoenix football on July 6th.
Back here at Carson Park, Cavaliers come away winners by the score of 8-1 over the Menomonie Eagles. Cavaliers had 8 runs on, it's probably going to be 11 hits when it's all said and done, because evidently there's some scoring adjustments happening, and 1 error, and they left 7 on base. The Eagles had 1 run on 5 hits. They committed 2 errors and left 4 on base. Winning pitcher tonight was Eli Rathke. His record goes to 4-0, and the losing pitcher was Zach Peterson for the Eagles. Cavaliers are now 13-7 on the season, and they remain 8-4 in the CRBL. And as we were just talking with Ryan Bemnister, coming up on Wednesday, make sure you join us here on Wednesday, July 3rd, as on NLWN-TV, as we bring you the Cavaliers taking on the Augusta Athletics in a CRBL matchup right here from Carson Park. Coverage begins at 6:30 within the dugout, followed by live play-by-play action. First pitch is scheduled for 7 o'clock. Also, join us next Saturday on NLWN2 as we bring you Chippewa Valley Phoenix football. The Phoenix will be hosting the Buffalo Ridge Wildcats, who hail from southwestern Minnesota. Coverage starts with Phoenix Rising at 1:30 with kickoff scheduled for 2 o'clock. That's Chippewa Valley Phoenix football next Saturday on NLWN2. Coming up later this year, and I was just looking at it, looks like it's going to be early January in this broadcast season. The Northern Light Webcasting Network will broadcast our 500th event, so be sure to stay tuned for special announcements and special awards for our loyal viewers. That's all coming up later this broadcast season on the Northern Light Webcasting Network. The Eau Claire Cavaliers want to remind veterans of the United States military that they can get a lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games simply by coming to Carson Park with your veteran's identification. And the Cavaliers will be very happy to issue you your lifetime pass. It's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service. Today's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball game has been brought to you by Menomonie Eye and Optical, with quality personalized care for you and your family. Your Napa Auto Parts store at 3580 Mall Drive in Eau Claire. Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Comfort food the way Mom used to make it. Midwest Environmental Consultants, lawn care and soil testing experts for Western Wisconsin. Royal Credit Union, where they're different in a good way, and C&K Construction, concrete experts in the Chippewa Valley. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on NLWN-TV. So for Cameron Rickoff on the camera, and Ann Monroe on the computer, this is Rick Olson, and that final score is Cavaliers 8, Menomonie 1, and you've been tuned to Talkin' Baseball on NLWN-TV.
You have been tuned to Talkin' Baseball with a wrap-up of today's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.